2, 3.
Oy vey.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you. Thank you from Radio 1, Capital DJ.
I love how I'm getting the audio, but not the video yet. Hold on.
No problem. We are better on audio than we are on video.
We have faces for radio and a voice for magazine. Concentrate.
Fuzzy Wuzzy was a woman.
You know what's great is that I was going to interview the makeup artist people, but then they left. And I was setting it up for a 3-person shoot. And then I see you, I'm like, it works.
There you go.
That's what it looks like.
Oh, good. Okay.
well,
Fantastic. I love that. Wonderful. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for having us back on your show.
Well, I've technically only had you. I haven't had Gary yet, so.
Well, when you say you've had me, let's clarify you've had me on the show.
I've enjoyed you.
You haven't had me. I'm happily married
Well,
to a woman.
All right, so what's going on? Why are you guys banter? Why is this known? Why is this
why?
Why is what?
Why is this banter popular amongst you two? Why do people love it so much?
Because it's real.
I think you need to speak a bit into there.
Because it's real.
Yeah, I think it's real.
I don't actually like him. I am stuck with him. I have to work with him.
It's a bit like
I don't like him.
bit like a rash. Isn't
You know, at least with thrush you can get a cream.
He was telling me
It's
about.
nice.
He was telling me how you messed him all up when you changed his white background in the studio, and now ever since then he loves everything he's done. So, what else have you done to bug him? Now I'm gonna drink.
Okay. I'm not going to say he's a control freak, but he's a fucking control freak. Okay? So he will do something, and I'll go, but it could be better. So then we change it, and he'll go, it won't be better, it won't change, it'll work just like this. And I go, let's just try it. Like backgrounds. He'll go to me, we need a new background. So I'll make a new background and go, don't like it. Really don't like it. And then I'll say, can we just print it and try it? We'll put it up in the studio. We'll shoot a weekend of clients with it, and he'll go, love that background. Best background I've ever seen.
Well, it's all about the direction I gave you in the beginning, the motivation, and the inspiration, and the kick up the arse that you needed. It's like the backdrop you did that time when it was version 4, and you said you were perfecting it. It was actually just the errors in versions 1, 2, and 3 that I wasn't happy with.
If he'd just shut up and let me get on with it, I would have been able to make it version 1.
Okay, well, you say that, I say the other. We'll agree to disagree.
Are we still in version 4? Or are we like a couple of versions now?
It was it was a really good selling backdrop. It was one of the best we've had. Not as good as
still version 4.
Yeah, not as good as some other designers, but we
he's
won't
such
go
an
there.
arse, right? One designer, the lovely Lauren Bennett Tippins, very good friend of ours. Well, actually, she likes me more than him.
Debatable.
She designed a really pretty floral, and it was the first proper floral we had in the range, and it has sold so many. And every now and then he says, yeah, sold more than you. But cumulatively, no, she hasn't.
No,
What was the ratio thing you were talking about in the interview? You were talking about like the percentages or like the data behind the sales and everything.
Oh, that I
else.
have the highest average.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% guaranteed.
He was bragging.
Yeah,
He was bragging.
Definitely. It's fact. Figures don't lie.
He's also had the most no sales.
They don't lie. They do not lie. It's just done technically still the highest average. It's a fact.
Of one weekend.
Three weekends.
Well, you report the numbers that matter, right?
Yeah, 100%. You know, a bit like politics.
It's statistics. You can make them out whatever you want.
That's true.
There's
true.
also the 3 Bs.
What are those?
Bullshit baffles brains.
I've never heard of that one. Very good.
What's tell me, what's a memorable shoot for both of you guys? And by memorable, that's very open-ended.
Where's this going out?
How has he pissed you off the most? How about
has he
that?
pissed me off?
Yeah, the most in a shoot.
In a shoe.
No, what about when I graffitied all your awards with my name on them?
Oh, what a shithouse.
Okay, do tell.
So, I think I was having a day off teaching somewhere else.
It was just a day off.
And he asked me when I moved into the office, could I bring some certification, stick it up. It's really good because when we have training courses at the studio or people come in to buy the backdrops, it's nice to see that, you know, he's got his best crayoning certificate on the wall and all of
second place karaoke medal.
Second place karaoke medal, you know, but nobody remembers who came second, do they? So I put a couple of certificates up and all of that, and I had a day where I was out of the office and I came back and I walked in and he changed the name on all of them, put a little sticker over the front and put Chief Colouring Officer Kaufman as the actual photographer of the year and all of that shit.
Well, it is what it is on the certificate. That's what I said. So I just changed them all.
It's yours
and the
now.
trophies. Yep, 100%.
What about the embers? What about, you know, What's the opposite? So now we have to that you did for him. What?
He does stuff all the time. It's normally just the. Today he got his knife out of his pocket
whoa, steady.
and tried to shave my arm on a trade show booth. That's not normal behaviour for an adult.
Is that normal in the UK?
No.
Did he tell you why I did that?
No.
So I'm sat there quietly editing pictures so we have some social media content from the classes here. And he tries to stab me with a pen. And then he draws on my arm with a pen. And he expects no
I was just seeing if it worked. I didn't have any paper.
He expects no retribution.
Yeah, but a knife is a bit extreme.
I was only going to shave a bald patch on your arm for you.
It's proper escalation.
Yeah, that's not necessary. That's issues. Serious issues.
I was brought up, if you're going to do something, you do it proper. So why just like tickle him or pinch him like that?
So why did he refer to you like north of the wall?
Because I'm from the north of England.
How does that translate to the comparison of the better parts that he said he's from?
Well,
He's from the south.
We're more sophisticated.
Really?
We don't wear flip-flops in December.
Because you're scared of the cold.
We do that in Florida a lot.
And what's the weather like in Florida in
It's
December?
wonderful.
Yeah,
Hold on a
thank you.
minute. Whoa. We were in Florida in February.
Yeah.
And we spoke to an Uber driver and it snowed in January.
Yeah, that happened.
6 inches of snow. Well, it's only the same as North England.
But we were on the beach as well in February there.
We were.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, so I'm northern, right? So I talk proper. I'm not frightened of a little wind chill, or it might rain today, so I can't go outside. You know,
It was
like
cold.
those southern stuff.
Hold on.
And do you know what else? We can drive in the north, in the south. The shit.
You were
I'll
cold
tell you
in
how good he is.
You
right?
were cold in Sweden.
I wasn't cold in Sweden.
You wore a coat.
I didn't. I had a shirt on. You had a coat.
I did have a coat.
He was dressed like Kenny from South Park, and I had a shirt on. He's like
But
a little
it was
garden
cold.
gnome because he's not the tallest, is he? It was like, fucking hell, it's like -5.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was cold. Very cold.
What I'm used to.
You know what's crazy? I met both of you at Imaging last year, and I remember just talking about backdrops. I had no fucking idea you guys were this interesting. It's only after the fact that
No, I'm
like,
interesting. He just comes along to make the numbers.
come on, bring it, bring it, bring it.
I was brought up that if you've got nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Well, you'd never speak if that was the case.
That is true.
This is called the
That is
Outspoken
true.
Artist After Hours.
Yeah,
where-
oh, that's
after-
good.
okay.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah.
not like
yeah.
I would censor it anyway.
I'll tell you
no.
what happens, right? I'll tell you what happens. I'll come in the office in the morning. I'll be working away quite happily, fixing all the things that he shot shit at the weekend. And he'll come in and he'll sit down and say, "Oh, knew I had something to tell you." I go, "What is it?" He'll go,
But if you had set the cameras up correctly in the beginning, like Scott Johnson told me to do last weekend, wouldn't be an issue because he is a control freak with the cameras.
"I'm not. I don't touch your camera."
Well, it's our cameras.
Okay, our camera.
I'm intrigued. How does the law enforcement background translate into you guys working together in a studio now?
I have no idea. No idea.
Well, he does.
He likes to feel safe.
Yes,
That's
I
what
do
it
feel
is.
safe. That's because occasionally can be a little non-tactful when I'm out, and occasionally I hide behind him, which is good. On a serious note, though, we were in Dallas 12 days, wasn't it, in the mall
Yeah.
where they had the mass shooting,
Oh wow.
and we were in the same mall 12 days previous. Now, no one goes to a mall thinking
They're not
you-
coming home.
you're not coming home. But I did think to myself, as I was with him, had we been there during that tragedy, I would have just hid behind him. And I think I'd been pretty safe. So it is good being with him for that purpose
I'd have
alone.
pushed him right out there.
It's a
Yeah.
shield.
He would have been the first one that got shot.
And he is a control freak with the luggage as well. He has to always take all the luggage. He won't let anyone touch it.
It has to be stacked right.
How did you? Have you always photographed, or did you literally pick it up after you left law enforcement?
No, I picked it up after
How did you become so fucking good?
because I'm a control freak.
That makes sense.
Because everything has to be perfect. You know, when I'm shooting properly, that sounds wrong. When we're shooting clients, we
I'll
shoot
say-
to the best of the.
I'm like,
we
what's
can for the
properly?
client.
What's properly?
You know, if I'm shooting for, and I want an image that I want to have a real impact for whatever way, then I'll micromanage every part of it.
You know what I appreciated today? That couple I photographed. Rose her name. She's standing there by herself, and it just so happened that there was a backdrop there. I'm like, I would love to photograph you because living is a privilege. You know, we don't know how old we're gonna be. We have no idea.
About another
And-
3 days if he carries on.
This is what I got to live with.
I know.
Honestly.
But that couple is phenomenal. And I think like moments like that in photography is what I strive for. And we can talk shit in a little bit, but I'm curious, what photo have you guys done outside of client work that has been impactful to you?
I know for you, one I would say that we did with your uncle.
Oh, that's a good story.
That's a really good story.
So my late cousin, Harry Boyd Kaufman, was one of the founding members of the 43 group, which was a anti-fascist movement in the 60s. His best friend was my aunt's long-term partner, Jules Konopinski. There's books about both of them. They've been on TV. Spielberg used Jules as an authority on a couple of programs, etc. And he was 92. Harry Boy was 89 or something like that. And my aunt, 85, and my father was 78. And because these two old men really look like they've just stepped out of a Scorsese film, I wanted to bring them in and shoot them in the studio. And we had a replica gun in there. We did some real Godfather type imagery. And literally within a year, Jules had passed away. And this is a guy who'd beaten cancer 3 times, fought in wars, etc., etc. And a year later, Harry Boy as well passed away, 93 and 90. And it was literally since the photo shoot. So I would say that was for me. And I put Harry Boy on the front page of our catalogue that year. And he died the day we launched the catalogue.
Wow.
And I know that if he had seen that, he'd have gone, right, Charlie, how much? That's an international cover. That's got to be worth a few quid. Because and he was a real larger than life, old school. People like that are not made anymore. The young generation don't know what that generation went through. And as hard as possible nails, but on the inside, absolute pussycats. That was probably, I would say, one of the most important shoots that I've done for probably my career. That's what I would say for me.
That's a beautiful. How about yourself? I know I only have you for a couple of minutes because I promised you 10 minutes, but I would love to hear yours.
It's probably when you did my photo shoot of me, I would have thought it's probably your most memorable shoot, when you photographed me the day before my 50th, and then you photographed me on my 50th. That must be your most memorable shoot you've ever done, I would have thought.
I don't remember.
I think, definitely, honestly. It wasn't the best shoot I've ever had, but it was a good shoot.
It took me a whole year to edit him from being 49.
Yeah.
It took a lot of Photoshop.
Well, Evoto, Portrait
of course,
Pro.
Portrait Pro,
Photoshop.
Imaginomic. We did them all, mate, and still, most important for me, there's two really. There was I was photographing, I was teaching, I was doing a course down in Surrey, and young 15-year-old model, she was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And her mum homeschooled her, travelled all over with her, and on that day we found out her mum had cancer. So as soon as I heard that, there's only one thing I had to do, and I had to photograph them together. So doing that, and thankfully, all turned out well with the mother. It's times like that where you realise how important photographs. And I've had it at weddings as well in the past, where you take a grab shot of an uncle or a grandpa at the wedding, and you just try and get a nice portrait. And usually they're pulling a face and they don't want to be there and all of that, but you persevere, you get that picture. And then 6 months later, it's like, have you got any more? Because they're no longer with us. And, that's where we have our banter and all of this. Right. And we love to make pretty pictures and shoot pretty girls and all of that thing. But actually, it's times when you realise just how important photography is when somebody isn't here to make more memories.
Love that.
And unfortunately, the salesman in me would love to have a family portrait before someone dies. You can't say that.
Yeah.
And COVID, I think, knocked a big hit into a lot of people. So although our volume has gone down, the average sales have gone up since COVID dramatically, because people actually are a lot more serious and take less things for granted.
I would agree.
Because everybody knows somebody that was affected by it. And unfortunately, as photographers, we have to be all touchy-feely. But the truth of the matter is, every time I'm in the viewing room, 3 or 4 generation family, you do actually just want to say, make the most of this right now.
Yeah.
You never know what's around the corner.
100%. 100%.
And we don't.
Well-
But he is an arsehole, an absolute. It's just what it is, and we have to put up with each other occasionally.
Well,
Many a day he is lucky to walk out alive.
well, that's what you have the knife for. Keep him in line.
There is that, but just I don't need that though. He knows when he's really pissed me off.
Yeah, I leave.
He stays out of the way.
That's funny.
That's what happens.
But,
Well,
yeah. But we
gentlemen-
look after each other, so
I see it.
obviously in a non-sexual way.
I see the love. I see the love.
It's the odd hug.
Gentlemen. Oh, they were smiling.
We're getting
picture.
papped.
Yeah.
No, gentlemen, I really appreciate this.
Thank
And
you for
I
asking.
see you at every conference. I just never had a chance to really talk to you. So
Well, we get
if
around.
I do this again, we'll meet again and we'll banter some more. And
Yeah.
Absolutely.
all right,
And I'll
And
tell you the real truth about him then.
good.
it's been emotional. It's been fun, and we look forward to seeing this when it goes out on air.
I know, me
If
too.
it does.
It will. It'll all be bleeped.
Good.
Now I gotta find someone to take a photo of us, and then
just
you'll be
got
released.
someone right
She's
there.
gone. All right, let me
No
stop
problem.
this.